So we'll start with this. There's a concern. In fact, I may not call it as a huge concern, but there's a concern the way cashew industry is facing onslaught on non-conventional from the non-conventional players. Recently, I had an opportunity to talk to Rohit Zantye on my podcast, wherein he has spoken about all these things, and from there the idea came, and actually a thought came that actually there is a concern right now. So government is making all its efforts, but what is required at this point of time is to make collective efforts. So we have representatives of all the agencies here who can together make efforts and make sure that this entire sanctity of cashew production or cashew market or cashew as a Goa brand remains intact. So, in a bid to discuss this issue of reinforcing, I'll repeat, reinforcing enforcement strategies with stronger legislation and policies to tackle misleading of consumers. We have eminent panel with us. We have Ma'am Preeti Chaudhary, IRS Director, FSSAI Western Region. Welcome, ma'am. We have Richard Noronha, Designated Officer, Licensing Authority, FDA Goa. Welcome. And we have Mr. Deepak Parab, Nodal Officer, GI, Department of Science and Technology. Welcome, sir. And we have Rohit Zantye, Director, Zantye Cashew. So, to start with the discussion, I'll start with Rohit only. Rohit, we can continue with what we were discussing. I'll sit there and let you continue. So, is there a concern right now that the kind of product that is sold in the market may not actually match with the expectation of the industry? Mike.
Hello. So as you are all aware, Goa is a tourist destination. And over the years, all the stakeholders of Goa, be it farmers, be it cashew processors, be it retailers, has created a brand for Goan cashews. And this is done mostly on word of mouth by selling high quality Goan cashews to the tourists arriving in the state. Nowhere we have marketed saying that, oh, Goa cashew, we should come to Goa and buy Goa cashew. Over the last 50, 60 years, when tourists have come to Goa and picked up a packet of cashew, they found this taste to be unique. And they have gifted Goan cashews to their friends, relatives. And when they came to Goa, they must have picked it up. So the Goa brand is created. And it's not a 1 day or 1 year or a 1 decade. It has been 4, 5 decades where the Goa brand has created. When anything has a lot of demand, you have a lot of players also entering. So we at Zantes, we were mostly into our own looking inwards. So we were mostly into our production, maintaining the quality, looking at our customers. And we really, unfortunately, kind of ignored what happened in the market. So somewhere in 2018-19, we started getting complaints saying that the packet we had bought in Kalangut is having rotten cashews inside. So I said, send me a photo of cashews. So photo had some Patel cashew or something written on it. And then he said, I said, this is not bought from any of us. No. This is like the store had a Zantye name on top. So for the first time, I entered the other stores trying to figure out what was happening. And we found out that they used to use Zantye brand just to attract the customers, and they were selling their own branded product. So we picked up a few products from different stores as a normal customer. And I opened the packet. I was shocked to find that from outside, the first thing, the weight was not 500 grams, it was 450 grams. None of the labeling requirement was maintained, like the customer care number, full address, nutrition value, all the labeling, expiry date, MRP. The packet had a net weight written as 400/500. I didn't know whether it was 400 or 500 grams. So as a president of Goa Cashew Manufacturer Association with 4-5 processors, we approached the FDA department, the weights and measures, the GST department, because we thought Goa government is going to lose a lot of revenue because Most of the stores where we went to pick up the packet of cashew, we were not even given a bill. In spite of insisting of giving a bill, the bill was not given. So we even went to GST, wrote letters to all of them, and that time Dr. Jyoti was the director. I met Richard there, and various raids were conducted across the state by all the department. That's where the issue was really came into the forefront. But department after that, the problem is still not eliminated. I think Richard will be able to tell why it is not eliminated as yet, in spite of multiple raids. I'll give an example. The network is so strong that if they go and raid one shop, 50 shops in Kalangut shuts down immediately. So maybe Richard is the right person to highlight why, what has happened after that.
Okay, before going further, I think you should also know that there is a lot of tweaking of names. Your Zantye name is spelled in different ways to make sure that it looks like Zantye, but it is not Zantye and Cashews also. Okay, so further, ma'am, we just want to know FSSAI is an apex body in the country for food safety.
Correct.
So how can you all tweak, because so that they don't need to tweak the names and sell these kind of products, tweak
I
the
know.
entire regulations to make sure that such kind of practice is is actually dealt with iron hand.
Okay. So, just to understand, Rupesh, that in India, FSSAI's regulatory framework is just not to regulate the FPOs, but if you see in totality, it has been meant for a consumer. तो हमारे जो भी रेगुलेटरी फ्रेमवर्क है, हिंदी सभी को अच्छे से, मैं हिंदी में भी बात कर सकती हूँ, तो हमारे जो रेगुलेटरी फ्रेमवर्क है वो कंज्यूमर को ध्यान में रखकर बनाया गया है कि उसके अधिकारों को सशक्त किया जाए। तो हमने जब रेगुलेशंस ड्रॉ किया, आज हमारे पास में टोटल 22 रेगुलेशंस हैं। इसमें अलग अलग प्रोडक्ट्स के स्टैंडर्ड्स हैं, लेकिन कुछ रेगुलेशंस हैं वो अक्रॉस द सेक्शन सबको पालन करने होते हैं, जैसे कि लेबलिंग एंड पैकेजिंग। आप कह ही रहे थे, मतलब कि रोहित जी कह रहे थे कि लेबलिंग के रिलेटेड नॉर्म्स जो है वो फ्लाउट हो रहे हैं कहीं जगह पर। तो ये देखो कि सबसे पहली ज़रूरत किसी कंज्यूमर की होती है कि वो क्या बाय कर रहा है। I, as an informed consumer, has every right to know what I am buying and what has been declared is truthful to the material content inside. तो मुझे लगता है कि जब हम इन्फोर्समेंट में ले रहे हैं तो हमें डेफिनेटली हमें मतलब कि हमें FSSAI को भी FDA को भी मुझे लग रहा है कि इस टॉपिक के ऊपर और कड़ाई से एक्शन लेने की ज़रूरत है। लेबलिंग के नॉर्म्स जो हैं, दिस इज़ वन ऑफ द वेरी प्राइमरी थिंग्स कि आपने उसमें क्या क्या डिक्लेयर किया है वो वहाँ पर होना चाहिए। फिर उसके स्टैंडर्ड्स के नॉर्म्स हैं, कितना मॉइस्चर होना चाहिए, तो टाइम टाइम से वो चीज़ें भी चेक करने की ज़रूरत है। लेकिन मुझे ऐसा महसूस हो रहा है कि आज केशू एक ऐसी कमोडिटी बन चुकी है, क्योंकि एग्रीकल्चरल कमोडिटी, थोड़ा सा मैं FSSAI से बाहर जाना चाहूँगी नाउ। जितना मैंने मिस्टर देसाई को सुना है और मिस्टर गांवकर को सुना है, मुझे लग रहा है कि हमें ज़रूरत है एक तो GI इंडिकेटर की। शायद मैं आपका टॉपिक थोड़ा सा खींच रही हूँ, लेकिन GI इंडिकेटर की ज़रूरत है, लेकिन उसके साथ में मैं ऐड करना चाहूँगी कि हमें ब्लॉकचेन की भी ज़रूरत है। तो अगर हम गवर्नमेंट ऑफ गोवा की तरफ से जो फार्म लैंड्स हैं, ये जो फार्मर्स हैं, उनके लेवल से स्टार्ट करके उनके रजिस्ट्रेशन करके वो किस प्रोसेसिंग यूनिट में आया, क्या उसका बैच नंबर था, क्या उसका टेस्टिंग हुआ, एंड फाइनली जो है QR कोड के माध्यम से जो कि पैकेजिंग के ऊपर रहेगा, वहाँ से मेरे ख्याल से अगर पढ़ सकते हैं कि ये केशू इस फार्म से आया था, यहाँ पर प्रोसेसिंग हुआ, इतना पुराना है, इतने साल पुराना ट्री है। ये सारे इनोवेशंस जो है पूरे दुनिया भर में हो रहे हैं आज GI को लेकर। बासमती का क्लेम हम इसलिए स्टैंड कर पाए क्योंकि इंडिया लड़ गया उस चीज़ के लिए, और हमारे यहाँ पर सब लोग रेडी थे कि बासमती जो है इंडिया और इंडिया से रिलेटेड एरिया में ही हो सकता है। तो गोवन काजू भी जो है, काजू की एक अलग स्पेशलिटी है, इसको पहचान दिलाने के लिए बहुत सारे एफर्ट्स करने की ज़रूरत है। मैं सिर्फ FSSAI के दिमाग से नहीं बोलूँगी, लेबलिंग तो डेफिनेटली ज़रूरत है, लेकिन उस लेबलिंग को उतना भी कंप्लाई करने के बाद भी बहुत सारी चीज़ें हैं जो देखी जा सकती हैं। इस पर मैं यहाँ पर स्टॉप करूँगी. मे बी वी हैव मोर टू एक्सप्लोर आई थिंक.
ओके, वन मोर थिंग, गोवा में एक ही प्रॉब्लम है. जब गोवा में लोग आते हैं, दे आर मोस्ट ऑफ द टाइम टूरिस्ट, सो
हाँ.
दे आर एक्चुअली हैप्पी विद द फैक्ट दैट दे आर इन गोवा. सो कैजू बाय करते वक्त वो थोड़ी लेबर वेबर देखने की ज़्यादा ये नहीं रखते
जहमत
हैं.
नहीं उठाते
हाँ,
हैं.
तो वहाँ से ज़्यादा प्रॉब्लम शुरू होते हैं कि लोकल्स यूजुअली विल गो इनटू ज़ांटीज बिकॉज
आप
दे नो
देखो है
दिस.
ना, गोवा जब कोई पहली बार आता है ना, तब वो कई समय से सोच रहा होता है दिमाग में कि मैं गोवा जाऊंगा जाऊंगी, है ना. लेकिन गोवा एक ऐसी जगह जहाँ आदमी बार बार आता है. मतलब साल भर में 2-3 चक्कर मेरे भी लग जाते हैं. ऑफिशियल वर्क से ही लगते हैं, लेकिन एक मन में रहता है कि गोवा जाएंगे तो अच्छा फील होगा. तो अब इसमें सेकंड एस्पेक्ट देखो कि अगर आज मैंने काजू एक शॉप पर से खरीदा और वो काजू अच्छा नहीं निकला, तो मैं गोवा तो वापस आऊंगी लेकिन काजू फिर से नहीं खरीदूंगी.
प्रिसाइडली.
एज अ कंज्यूमर आई एम टेलिंग यू. तो इसलिए ये आप सभी के हित में है जो भी काजू बेच रहे हैं. क्या आपको किसी कंज्यूमर को सिर्फ एक बार पकड़ लेना है, कि आप उसको अपना रिटेनरशिप देना चाहते हैं कि वो आपके पास में बार बार आए? ये ज़रूरी है. और मुझे लगता है कि लार्ज स्केल पर इस सोच को तब्दील करने के लिए या नई सोच बनाने के लिए सिर्फ मुझे नहीं लगता कि रिचर्ड के एफर्ट्स काफ़ी रहेंगे. ये कितना एफर्ट लेंगे, कितनी दुकानों पर रेड कर लेंगे. मुझे लगता है कि शायद से एसोसिएशन को भी उनके जो सेलिंग एसोसिएशन है, शॉप ओनर्स की एसोसिएशन है, उन सबको एक पेज पर लाने की ज़रूरत है. और शायद से उनको भी ये सोचना पड़ेगा कि वी वांट रिटर्नरशिप, वी वांट जीआई टैग, वी वांट नेम फॉर गोवा केशू, वी वांट प्रीमियम कॉस्ट फॉर गोवा केशू, या फिर हमें वन टाइम सेल करके बस ऐसे एक बार धोखा देकर निकल जाना है, दैट्स गुड इनफ फॉर अस. तो ये सोचना पड़ेगा मुझे लगता है.
Okay,
Yes, thank
we'll
you.
go to Richard. Richard Bab is these days is busy in several raids. Half of the time he's seen on television. They are raiding, but I have not seen you raiding any of the Cashew outlets.
I think this started with Cashew, where Rohit has rightly pointed out that in the year 2019, where this issue cropped up, I think the first commodity that we actually touched upon is Cashew, and then we realized the gravity of the non-compliances that were happening. So continuing from what Rohit has said is that what was happening on the field is that we could see primarily to one major practice where there was a mixing being done. So the packaging was done in such a clever manner is that on the outer side, a good quality or not, I won't say good quality, but something that looks good was put, and the bad nuts were concealed in the inner core. And our tourists, they used to buy the cashew, often gift it to their relatives, and when they go back and they open the packet, they were shocked to see, that in the inner core, unpalatable cashews were there. And we've seen this in the field, and we did extensive, I will not say raids, but surveillances, and we've drawn many samples. Cases have been filed and have been decided. But I think that's not enough, as what ma'am has pointed out. It is a collaborative effort that will solve the problem, because when we do raids, to a certain extent, there are limitations where we have a range of so many products to look at, and Cashew is just one of them. So I think this collaborative effort is very, very important. And the other thing that we are really looking forward to is the GI tag. So when we are in a position to enforce this GI tag, I think that will definitely bring some kind of a solution to our problems.
Perhaps sir, now your role is to first explain in commonest of the terms to understand what is GI tagging and will it actually help to reduce this kind of activity?
A GI tag is a certification given by the central agency called as GI registry. It is given to the unique quality of the particular product. It may be agriculture, it may be manufactured, but it may be the food item also. So that helps to conserve the product, the traditional practice associated with the product process, making it, and it also helps support the producers with a premium price. See, European countries have come out with this concept, and they are getting benefited with this concept. So that's why it has been now globally in practice, and India also had to form Geographical Indication Act in 2005. It is come into force, and 2007 we got the first GI. We applied for the first GI, that is Goa Cashew, for Feni for cashew. But in 2017-18, our department, that is Science, Technology and Engineering, officially been allotted the work of GI registration. Until last year, we thought it is only the work to do the registration for the GI. But after GI, what is next? That is very important aspect. And that we thought that initially that concerned land department will act for promotion and other aspect. But since nothing has come, we have started working on its promotion and other related aspect, how we can promote the particular GI with for branding and giving the producer an opportunity to fetch a premium price for it.
GI tagging मेळा काय मिळून अजून कॅज्यू नेट
It's already granted.
मेळा
Yeah, it's already
what
granted.
we also have understood ki GI tagging मेळा, but there are rules which should be,
Yeah,
you know,
exactly.
enforcement rules. So tomorrow if someone is even violating right
Yeah.
now at this point of time, you can't do anything about it.
Yes, exactly. What happened after getting a GI tag for Goa Cashew, we have registered individual GI. See, GI tag is given for the association of producer. It is not given to individual. But association not involved in the processing the cashew or bringing the cashew in the market. It is the individual processor who are bringing the processing and bringing the cashew in the market. So again, we have to register them with the GI register as authorized user, so that they can bring that product in the market with GI logo and other other aspect of the implementation of GI. So after knowing that, we registered 3 Goan processor with the GI registry. We facilitated actually to do the registration of these people. And then we realized that Goan processor also processing cashew from imported cashew also. Apart from local cashew, they are also processing the imported cashew. So we felt the need to prepare a standard operating procedure how we can regularly allow these people processor to use the GI. And that's we are working on that. We had 3 meetings. We have prepared a draft SOP, standard operating procedure. And since then, at the time of putting the file, we come to know that GFDC is also taking one technical seminar on this issue by inviting expert on this. So we thought we'll wait till this technical seminar ends so that we can add some more points after the outcome of this, that we can include it possibly, that we can include in the draft SOP and we can put up it to the state government.
Okay, so I'll take the liberty and I'll come to you, ma'am. Now you can suggest, because they also are waiting for the final draft of SOP. So you can also suggest how this geotagging GI
Can be
indication,
observed.
yeah.
SOPs क्या हो सकती है? मुझसे एक्सप्लोर कर रहे हैं जो कुछ इमीडिएट थॉट में दे सकती है, उसमें वन ऑफ द फर्स्ट फ्यू थिंग्स हो सकती है कि एक आदमी या प्रोसेसर जो कैश्यूज़ को प्रोसेस कर रहा है, अगर हम उसे इस तरह से रेस्ट्रिक्ट नहीं कर सकते कि आप सिर्फ गोअन काजू ही प्रोसेस करोगे, बिकॉज इट इज़ ऑलवेज पॉसिबल दैट इन अ प्लांट बोथ गोअन कैश्यू एंड द इम्पोर्टेड वन आर बीइंग प्रोसेस्ड, बट एटलीस्ट जो है हम उनसे बैच नंबर वाइज अलग अलग सेग्रीगेशन करके स्टोरेज ऑफ रॉ मटेरियल और स्टोरेज ऑफ फिनिश्ड गुड्स के लिए हम एसओपी में ये एक चीज़ कंपल्सरीली कर सकते हैं. दूसरी चीज़ जो है, एक एसोसिएशन जो इन्वॉल्व होती है नॉर्मली जियो टैगिंग के लिए, जैसा कि मिस्टर परब ने भी बताया कि एसोसिएशन होती है, उसके रिकग्निशन के साथ में शायद से मुझे लगता है कि अपार्ट फ्रॉम द एफडीए जो स्टोरेज के नॉर्म्स को देखते, शायद एसोसिएशन को भी इमीडिएट लेवल पर सर्टिफिकेशन के समय देखना चाहिए कि स्टोरेज किस तरह से हुआ है और प्रोसेसिंग के रिकॉर्ड्स किस तरह से मेंटेन कर रहे हैं. तो जीएसटी के लिए जब आप रिकॉर्ड्स मेंटेन करते हैं, कुछ बेसिक रिकॉर्ड्स इसी तरह से आपके स्टॉक रजिस्टर्स और फिनिश्ड गुड्स का रजिस्टर विद गोअन काजू एंड द इम्पोर्टेड काजू होना चाहिए. एक चीज़ जो मैंने फिर शुरू में भी कही थी कि कहीं ना कहीं हमें सोचना पड़ेगा कि मॉडर्न टेक्नोलॉजीज़ का कैसे यूज़ करें. ब्लॉकचेन बहुत सिंपल है, सुनने में लगता है कि बहुत कठिन है, क्या आ गया ब्लॉकचेन सब जगह चल रहा है, बट सिंपल है. अगर इसमें एसोसिएशन के माध्यम से अगर हम किसी एजेंसी को इन्वॉल्व करें, तो मुझे लगता है कि फार्म लेवल पर जो है रजिस्ट्रेशन हो सकता है, फार्म लेवल पर कितना किस नंबर का बैच किस जगह पर बेचा गया है, उसके थ्रू जो क्यूआर जनरेट हो सकता है, तो उसमें आपको ऑनलाइन बेसिस पर, रियल टाइम बेसिस पर जो फीड होता जा रहा है, एक स्टेज से निकल कर दूसरे स्टेज पे जा रहा है, तीसरे स्टेज पे पहुंच रहा है, वो आप सिंपल क्यूआर के थ्रू भी फिर उसे रीड करके वेरिफिकेशन कर सकते हो. तो ये चीज़ें हैं कुछ. मुझे लगता है कि ये एसओपी जब हम बनाते हैं तो शायद से रिकॉर्ड मेंटेनेंस, स्टोरेज सेपरेशन और जो है ऑन टाइम वेरिफिकेशन एंड looking for the same thing by the FDAs also कि जब हमने SOPs lay down कर दी है then we can insist to the FDA officers also कि आप जो है हमारे इन चीज़ों को भी साथ में देख लें इंस्पेक्शन करते समय, क्योंकि अल्टीमेटली फिर इन्हें भी प्लेस ऑफ ओरिजिन जो है वो देखना रहेगा कि आपने उसे मिस डिक्लेयर नहीं किया है। जो FSSAI वो इस चीज़ के लिए कड़ाई से बोलता है कि आपको मिसलीडिंग तरीके से किसी भी प्रोडक्ट को नहीं देना है, कोई इरोनियस रिप्रेजेंटेशन नहीं हो सकता है। तो अगर मैं गोवन काजू बोलकर बेच रही हूँ तो वो गोवन ही होगा, एंड देन FDA इज़ इन द राइटफुल प्लेस टू टेक द एक्शन इफ़ दीज नॉर्म्स आर सीन टू बी ब्रीचिंग। मुझे लगता है कि ये कुछ चीज़ें इस तरह के हम SOP में डाल सकते हैं। मोर कैन बी एक्सप्लोर्ड आई थिंक विद ग्रुप ऑफ पीपल in multiple meetings, a closed door meeting or maybe a detailed and deliberate meetings, I think.
ओके
Yes,
रोहित,
thank
when we
you.
started the discussion कोंकणींनी सांगता आमकां दिसलेलें की फक्त तेंचीच जबाबदारी, इट्स ओनली रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी ऑफ दीज एजन्सीज. नाव when ma'am said it's also a responsibility of the association when it comes to countering this kind of things, like someone is selling a cashew आनी तो जर सारको वॅलीड हें करना जाल्यार कोण तरी दुकान ताका थंय भाड्यान दिता आसतलो, थंयच्यान सुरू जाता तें. सो दुकानान जर ताका शॉप्स एंड एस्टाब्लिशमेंट्स लायसन्स दिता, म्युनिसिपल लायसन्स दिता, तेजे प्रॉडक्ट चॅक करता, इफ दीस म्हणजे रूट कॉजूच जर आमी ट्रीट केलो, वीच कॅन बी डन विथ, बिकॉज युअर्स इज वन ऑफ द ओल्डेस्ट असोसिएशन, डोंट यू थिंक इट्स ऑल्सो युअर रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी रायट नाव?
So the problem is the good people are really doing सारखी गोष्टी करता, and they are really interested in upholding the name of Goa, upholding the name of their shop, upholding the name of the brand. Most of the way cashews in sold is Goan is by the name of the shopkeeper. Like in Panjim, we have most of them are really reputed cashew reseller who have their own brand. Problem is mostly on the beach side, where their intention is to create a fraud, and intention is to maximize profiting. So how they are doing it? They are selling you less weight. They are selling you. So one of the very important thing is there, cashew is graded, and cashews when they are selling, even export, is sold as per grades. There are 30 different grades of cashew. आम्ही कच्चो काजू घेतना एक घेता, पण आम्ही विकता न्ही 30 तरेचे काजू आसा. 1400 रुपया किलो 1400 किलो कॉल्ड एज W150 टू कॅश्यू पावडर ओ काजूचे तुकडे जाका सालां आसता ती, and everything has a market which is around 200 rupees a kg. What these people are doing, we are selling cashews as per grades. So we have been asking FDA that you make it mandatory to have grades mentioned on the packet. We at Zantye have been always selling cashews as per grades, W180, W210, W240, and there's a price difference. So price difference between say W180 and W320 is 300, 400 rupees per kg difference. Now when our interest is to protect the consumer, we will be putting the good size, good appearing cashews from outside, and when you put, they are not putting, so there is a lot of confusion that they are putting duplicate cashew. That is cashew only, but they are putting cashews of an inferior quality, inferior grade, which is at 400 rupees to 450 rupees a kg. So imagine they are making 500 rupees a kg as profit, or 300 rupees a kg of profit by putting 50% lower grade at lower price and 50% higher grade, but normal grade what they are selling. But when FDA goes and raids, they said no, cashew है, कहाँ पे एक्ट कहाँ पे बोलता है कि आपको ग्रेड लिखना चाहिए. So that is one issue. Inferior quality, some of them don't pass the FDA, don't pass the FFA or other requirements. Rancidity test, they will not pass. But which is the authority which will
FSSAI
has a
yeah.
देखो मैं ये कहना चाहूँगी कि अगर हमारे पास में कोई कंटिन्यूअस प्रॉब्लम आ रही है तो इसे एक रिप्रेजेंटेशन भी बना लेना चाहिए एंड ऑफ कोर्स हम एफएसएसआई के स्तर पर हम लोग ओपन माइंडेड लोग हैं हमारे यहाँ इनफैक्ट कोई रेगुलेशन भी आता है तो पहले उसका ड्राफ्ट रेगुलेशन आता है एंड वी सी लॉट ऑफ कमेंट्स फ्रॉम द पब्लिक
No,
तो
regarding
आपका
Cashew,
सजेशन इट्स अ गुड डिलिबरेशन दैट्स हैपनिंग बीआईएस भी है उसको एफएसएसआई जो है इन्फोर्स कर सकता है
and
कुछ
again,
चीज़ों में
again, what you have discussed, na,
हाँ,
what I have seen here, there is no differentiation mechanism for African cashews and Goa cashews. That is the first thing what you are facing. Or you will put all the nutritional labeling. Yeah, there is a specific nutritional labeling is there. GI cashew you will put. Even we will put African cashews also. We don't have mechanism to differentiate. Only experienced person can identify whoever who is over there in the continuous processing field. This is a African cashew. This is a Goan cashew. And after that, by taste is also a different factor. So that some nutritional profiling, nutritional thing we need to standardize. We need to make an either BI standard or state specific standard. Then only it is possible to claim these label claim.
And this is not only Goa issue regarding grades.
Almost every place.
Yeah, because
wherever.
even if you go to online platforms, today, let me take a brand, say some brand like Tata Sampann is selling. Consumer doesn't know what grade he is selling because it is not mentioned on Amazon what grade is mentioned there. Supposing I'm selling B2B trade, when I'm selling to DMart or when I'm selling to Reliance, B2B bulk pack, they are buying as per grades. That is happening. The whole GT, which is general trade and modern trade, business is happening as per grade. Export fewer business as per. They are very particular. We want this specification. W320 count has to be between 320 and less than 320, and it has to be white. It has to be having all those NLG and LSG. There is a proper definition of all grading which is there as per Cashew Export Promotion Council of India. But when it comes to the consumer pack, I am finding few of them voluntarily are mentioning grades, few of them are not voluntarily mentioning grades. That creates a confusion in the minds of the customers. Oh, this is priced at 500 rupees for 500 grams. This is priced at 600 rupees for 500 grams. They will buy 500, but that is a W400 grade, which is priced less. This may be a W320 grade, which is priced different. One issue. Second issue in Goa is regarding selling loose. You go to any shop, so many people ask me how they are allowed to sell loose. They are having outside the shop cashews stacked in, you go to Panjim 18 June Road, you will find cashews stacked in plastic bag outside the shop without any labeling. Now
I think Richard should just intervene and tell us.
And they are opening the bag, they are putting in plastic bags, small consumer packs, which again doesn't have any label. So again, that is the issue.
Yeah,
which
Richard.
So I will just place my point of view here is that the first thing that we spoke about is of the differentiation between the African and Goan cashew. I think that problem is already solved because Madam has spoken about blockchain. So once you have traceability and if that system is in place, we automatically know what has come from Goa and what has gone in the packet and what has come from Africa. So that is clearly solved. The other things as far as the grading is concerned, I think that's a good suggestion. And as ma'am has already said that FSSAI is open and we would request the support of the association here wherein they could maybe give us a representation and give us a better understanding of how these things work. And then there is a process which we adopt where we have our scientific panels and our expert committees at the central level who will examine it. And if they really feel it's necessary, I'm sure it will be done. And we as a department also, we will be in favor of something like this, from the Goa point of view. Of course, FSSAI will review it. That is, I think, one thing that will, be a major deterrent. The third thing that I want to talk about is something where we would need a little bit of clarity from the GI point of view. Like one more thing that has not come up as yet in this discussion is the use of the word Goa Cashew. I think that is being rampantly used, and that is what is also a air of misleading, that is being happening. So my request is with Deepak sir is that if you could throw some light of how we could restrict the use of this word, and can GI help us? Can GI give us some kind of an enforcement teeth to restrict the use of this word? And if yes, what is the enforcement action that we can take? Because if we have a strong enforcement action, that will be a deterrent. And today we are battling that. We go to Kalangut, you will see every shop using this expression Goa Cashew. Maybe enforce this.
Yeah, Parab sir, can you just give us more clarity on that?
Yeah, GI is for cashew is granted as Goa Cashew, and we have also been referred to similar meaning word, that is Kazus KSJU, then CAJU. This word are also referred in the application, so that nobody can use this word.
So cashew,
Yeah.
kaju,
Goa cashew, Goa Kazu cannot be used.
starting with K also.
But for that, we have to bring the cashew first, GI mark with GI label in the market first. Then only we can act on that. And for that, the SOP we propose is a three-phase SOP. That first, immediately we want to bring part of the cashew process by local processor in the market with GI tech to see the feedback from the customers from another point of view. FDA's other what difficulty FDA face in implementing the Goa cashew in the GI Goa cashew in the market. In the second phase, there is a provision in the GI legislation that the association should come out with the standard benchmark quality. They have to see now. Mr. Zantye is talking about the grading. With that particular grade, what will be the protein and nutrient content of that particular cashew? Then what will be the average size of the nut? What will be the average weight of the nut? This everything should be on the this thing has to come on the label of the particular cashew packet. Then only FDA can act. Nutrient content and weight of the average weight of the nut, average size of the nut. Based on that, FDA can act. This will come in the second phase. And third phase, as Madam talked about the blockchain, that we are already referred in the our SOP, that will come in the third phase. Because we have to see the feedback. Once the profit of premium price of the processor started getting premium price by bringing the cashew in the market with GI logo, and that benefits percolate to the farmers, then only farmers will support us in implementing the blockchain technology.
Okay, so I'll have last words from you because
But
then I'll
one
open.
thing that, you know,
Sir,
due to many
excuse me,
advantages.
Sir, I'll open it for you.
Yeah, yeah.
I'll have the last word, please. Okay,
please.
so that I know there will be a lot of discussion. It's more technical. So, last word from Rohit.
Some of the sad part in last few years is whole stakeholder the brand is created, but somehow we have seen at least the cashew industry. There were 45 factories in Goa, and today there are only 15 factories. Out of the 15 factories, just 4 to 5 factories are selling in Goa currently. Most of them are selling in tins or in bulk to Gujarat or Maharashtra market. Whereas the retail side, the brand side is totally captured by someone who is not directly involved into farming or cashew processing. I'm very hopeful that with the support of government has done a lot. Let me put it on the record regarding that they've given the best in regarding reviving the cashew industries. They have supported Goa farmers get the highest rate in the world, which is 170 rupees minimum support price. And with the support of FDA, weights and measures, other government agencies, and now GI was possible only because of the support of Department of Science and Technologies, headed by the Department of Science and Technology, and keen interest taken by Deepak Parab. He was after us that you will go ahead with this. Eventually, you will get benefit. Maybe initially you will not see, but over a period of time, once the awareness is created, all the stakeholders will get benefit. So we live always in a positive world. So I'm very positive that things will be implemented, and people who have done all the hard work in getting this right will be benefited finally.
Ma'am.
So I think that over the period, any market become famous for particular commodity. I really wish that Goa becomes a market, a world market for its GI tagging brand of cashew, as well as if I may add one more aspect to it, that Vietnam has become the largest country to export the cashew, and it has no actual cashew being grown there, but they are importing, processing and sending it back to US and Europe. So जब कोई जगह मंडी की तरह डेवलप होती है, जैसे जलगांव इज़ द मंडी फॉर द बनानास, it has local production very limited. बाकी सब जगह से आ रहा है. तो I really wish that Goa becomes a hub, bazaar at India national level also, at world level also, where we can see a genuine brand being flourishing at one hand. At the same time, the cashew processing goes hand in hand with its real name without misleading to the either of the things.
Yeah.
That's what.
Richard?
So I think more than duty, I think we share a sentimental value with Cashew, and that will always keep us on our feet. With whatever current legislations we have, we will not stop. We have been taking this up, and we have been working overtime because all these things don't happen from 9 to 5. These things happen post 5 o'clock in the night time. So we are alert. We have developed a very good, what you say, channel, and we know now from where what is coming. It's only a matter of fact where we will act when we get the culprits. So I'm sure like this is the thought of the entire department that with the current legislation we will try to deter whatever bad things are happening, and when things get better with the GI, I'm sure that the problems that we are facing today they will go away for sure.
Yeah, Parab sir.
Once a GI cashew come in the market, then nobody can use, those who are selling non-Goan cashew cannot use the Goa cashew name, Goa cashew name. There is a provision in the GI Act that the association or individual authorized user register can file a complaint to the device fee, and it will CC to GI Registry Chennai. GI Registry Chennai will confirm the registration of the particular product and will reply to the concerned police officer, and then police officers to take action on that.
Okay.
Regarding quality, the association has to come out with a standard benchmark quality, and anything lower than that, if sold in the market, that can be every has to act on that.
ओके सर, I'll come to you, but before that आनी कोणाकूय प्रश्न विचारपाचे आसा कुट्टाळेच्यान तुमचो पयर तुमकां बी कितें विचारपा आसा जाल्यार विचारा. मायक दी तांकां.
मैडम, जो आपने बोला कि जीआई टैग के लिए जो एसोसिएशन, किसानों का एसोसिएशन, अगर वो एसोसिएशन एक्साइज डिपार्टमेंट में हम लोग जब दारू निकालने के लिए लाइसेंस के लिए जाते हैं, अगर वहाँ से अगर वो एसोसिएशन होता है तो मुझे लगता है वो बहुत अच्छा होगा, क्योंकि जो प्रोसेसर है वो हो सकता है की बाहेर का भी कॅज्युअल आके उसमें सर तुम्ही हे करीना, बट असे जाऊ शकता. बाहर का कॅज्युअल गोवा का भी है 4 बैग और बाहर का लाया 50 बैग, ऐसा हो सकता. अगर हमने एक्साइज डिपार्टमेंट में जब वो लोग जाते हैं लाइसेंस के लिए, तो वहाँ अगर उनका ग्रुप बनाया जाए और उनको बोला बाबा आप लोग यहाँ रजिस्टर है, तो ये जो कॅज्यू है आप फलाना आदमी को ही देना है, दूसरे तीसरे को किसी से, क्योंकि वो भी आदमी जो प्रोसेसर है वो भी GI टैग वाला है और वो गोवा का अगर हो सकता है तो मुझे लगता है कि वो एक अच्छा ऑप्शन होगा एक्साइज डिपार्टमेंट को बोल के.
मैं आपका नाम जान सकती हूँ?
मेरा नाम गौरीश बुरकर.
गौरीश जी, देखो आज तो मेरे ख्याल से आज हम पैनल डिस्कशन कर रहे हैं इस मामले में, और मुझे लगता है कि ये चर्चा का आरंभ है, चर्चा का अंत तो इससे हो भी नहीं सकता है. तो ऐसा नहीं था कि आज ब्रेनस्टॉर्मिंग जो हमारी हुई, ऑफ कोर्स आपने भी ब्रेनस्टॉर्मिंग की, और मुझे लगता है कि और कुछ मीटिंग्स करके इस चीज़ को शायद से SOP, आपने कहा था कि SOP होना चाहिए, और एक्चुअली आप जो कह रहे हैं उसके लिए SOP से इसको रिजॉल्व कर सकते हैं कि सेग्रीगेशन के नॉर्म्स देके, प्रोक्योरमेंट के नॉर्म्स देखें, बाइंग सेलिंग के रिकॉर्ड्स क्या रहेंगे, है ना. तो वो हमें SOP तो बनाने पड़ेगी, लेकिन एक्साइज डिपार्टमेंट होगा या कोई सा दूसरा डिपार्टमेंट होगा, ये तो देखो निर्णय हमेशा सरकार को लेना होता है. एसोसिएशन का क्या रोल हो सकता है उसको भी जो है हमें मुझे लगता है और गहराई से सोचने की ज़रूरत है कि वो किसी तरह से बिज़नेस को फैसिलिटेट करे, किसी तरह के बिज़नेस को रोके ना. तो वो सारी चीज़ों को ध्यान में रखते हुए इस पर मुझे लगता है कि कई वार्ताओं के दौर चलने की असली में ज़रूरत है, क्योंकि हम यहाँ पर जो बनाना चाह रहे हैं वो एक गोवन कैशू के ब्रांड को डेवलप क्रिएट तो हो चुका है, लेकिन उसे मेंटेन और फ्लरिश करना चाह रहे हैं. तो मुझे लगता है इसमें और काम करने की ज़रूरत है. यहाँ तो नहीं होगा. आपके सजेशंस अच्छे थे, शायद से और कुछ रिप्रेजेंटेशन के लेवल पर मुझे लगता है कि सजेशंस बुलवाने चाहिए हम लोगों को, और फिर शायद से कुछ बेहतर इसमें उपाय निकल सकता है, और डेफिनेटली और करने की ज़रूरत है इसमें.
ओके, आय कॅन
थँक यू फॉर युअर सजेशन.
ना एक सांगू सोदता की तांचे रोस्टेड काजू आसा बेस्ट लागता सरांच्यो.
एडवर्टायज जाल्ली
जावं मागीर, पूण ते खाता आसतना म्हाजे घरान हांव घरा कडेन भाजता चुट्टी बिट्टी घेवन भाजता
हां.
पूण केन्नाय जेन्ना आतां खाता म्हणटा मागीर केन्नाय जर रूच येयली जाल्यार तेंची रोस्टेड काजू बेस्ट लागता.
ओके कुछ कैजू सेलर्स भी मुझे दिख रहे हैं यहाँ पे. आप कुछ बोलना चाहते, पूछना चाहते, आप पूछ सकते हैं. आपको ही बोल रहा हूँ, जो पीछे देख रहे हैं उनको ही बोल रहा हूँ मैं. नहीं, ठीक है, ओके सर.
nahi, what present system, we are facing in the source of origin, GI tag and all that, practically it is not feasible. So what is happening, in cocoa also, because of the ASEAN agreement, when the cocoa is not being grown in Sri Lanka, cocoa is not being in Singapore. So many people, they are importing cocoa beans to avoid the import duty. So here also, source of origin, and so they are not ready to put because, they want to in Goa, they want to sell the cashew as a Goan cashew only. So people are not sincere enough, even though rules are there, policies are there. So practically somewhat difficult to achieve the goal of or objectives of the FSSAI or Government of India.
Okay. You want to say something? Because we will wind up right now.
Actually, whatever Madam told about SOP, the similar systems, they are all, many of the systems they are existing. Testnet is there in APEDA. Testnet means they will have a forward and backward linkage. That is majorly it will help for these exporters. The same system, similar system, I think should work. And whatever FSSAI should act, FTA should act means we should have one SOP, that standard, BIS standard. In BIS, there is a possibility to have one good manufacturing practice standard. If we do that one, there is a possibility to act these enforcement departments, so that there is a beneficial for these particular Goan cashew or GI cashews, so that from using that GMP, that good manufacturing practices, we could control somewhat whatever these bad practices are there, that we could control. This is
Thank
my
you.
suggestion.
Thank you very much, and thank you. Okay. Yes.
You know the Ivory Coast, the largest producer in the cashew right now. But the problem with Ivory Coast is they don't have a processing units there. There are very less processing units, so they export it to India for the processing. But there is actually no idea what happens to the cashew after the processing. It goes back to Ivory Coast or somewhere else. There are reports that it comes to Goa and labeled as a Goa cashew. So is there any measures to monitor it or to control the cashews coming from the outside the countries?
I will talk on some facts. The total world crop of cashew is 50 million tons. Total India's crop is 700,000 tons. Goa's crop, as per the official figure of department, is 22 to 25,000 tons. I doubt it is not more than 12,000 tons. India imports officially, legally, 10 to 1.1 million tons. Total India processes 18 lakh, 1.8 million tons. Everything is legally allowed. None of the raw cashew imported comes to Goa directly. It comes to Mundra, it comes to Tuticorin, it comes to Mangalore, it comes to GNPT. Goa's processing totally in the world, in India, is not even 0.2 to 0.3%. Most of the processing is taking place in Karnataka, Gujarat, Maharashtra, Orissa, Andhra, Kantai, Pandruti, Palasa. Ivory Coast, as you rightly mentioned, is the world's biggest raw cashew. The total crop is 1.2 million tons. Now there are huge factories being set up in Ivory Coast. 500,000 tons, which is 5 lakhs, is being processed in Ivory Coast. None of it is coming to India because India has an import duty on processed kernels. If tomorrow that is removed, our rate of raw cashew will not be more than 80 rupees to 90 rupees. So Ivory Coast is having processing. It is not coming to India. It is exported to mostly EU and now to even America. Most of the Ivory Coast material of 700,000 tons goes to Vietnam. Vietnam imports almost 2.2 million, which is 22 lakhs tons. India imports, but not more than 1.2 to 1.5 lakh, which is not as compared to 10% of Ivory Coast. Now, the law says it can come to any state in the country, it can be processed anywhere in the country, it can come to Goa, and it can be sold in Goa. Problem here is currently there is no law protecting us. We are hopeful that GI is going to protect us from any other cashew being labeled as Goan cashew.
Okay, thank you very much. And Rohit, I'm impressed with your kind of your knowledge and with facts and figures that you know about this industry. And thank you very much. I think we can wind up. Yeah, thank you very much, and thanks for participating in this discussion.
तुम्ही पळयतात GNH.
आस्ता पोस मरे
टायर झाल्या मरे
मुझे भाषे हड्डे झाले इथे
टायर चेंज कर मरे योकोहामा टायर एक्सप्रेस सगळे टायर सोल्यूशन एका जाग्यार विथ 5 years अनकंडिशनल वॉरंटी.
अरे वाह
योकोहामा टायर एक्सप्रेस ऑपोजिट सनशाइन हॉस्पिटल आलेम हायवे मारगांव.